السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم أعزائي الطلبة في هذا الدرس المسجل من دروس اللغة الإنجليزية للصف العاشر الثانوي. في هذا الدرس المسجل سوف نقوم باستعراض مادة معينة من مادة اللغة الإنجليزية عن إحدى الوحد الموجودة والدروس الموجودة في كتاب الطالب Student Book. في هذا الدرس سوف نتناول الموديول 2 والذي كان بعنوان Free Time، وبالذات أو بالأخص سوف نتحدث عن الوحدة الرابعة والتي كانت بعنوان Computer Games، عنوان مشهور لدى الجميع. Talks about computer games, lesson 1 and 2, student book, page 34 and 35. Okay, now before we start talking about this lesson, let's just have this question. What do you do in your free time, especially leisure time? So what do you do usually in your free time? So as we can see, we have many activities that we can do in our free time. For example, we can watch TV, go to the movies, play video games, listen to music, read, surf the internet, do or play any kind of sport, go shopping and play an instrument, spend time with the family and friends, go out with friends, or we can study. So, but because we are talking about video games, we will just focus about talking video games as we have in our lesson. Now, before we start talking about or before we start our lesson, let's have this question. Answer these questions about computer games. Do you play computer games? So I think that most of us these days play video games. Okay, I think that most of us play video games. So if your answer is yes, we have two questions. So how old were you when you played your first computer game? How old you were? Oh, sorry, how old were you when you played your first computer game? For me, I think I was 9 years old to 10 years old when I played my first video game or computer game especially. Okay, so what about you? How old were you when you played your first computer game؟ يعني كم كان عمرك لما لعبت أول لعبة حاسوب إلك؟ The second question, how often do you play computer games? How often do you play computer games? Do you play 1, 2, 3 times in the week? How often do you play? Do you play all the day, or you don't play just few minutes, few hours during the week? How often do you play computer games? So if your answer is no, that means if you don't play computer games, we have also two questions to answer. Why haven't you played any computer games? Why haven't you played any computer games until now? So you don't like them, or you are not interested, or it is not your hobby to play video games. Okay, so we may have many reasons for this question. And the second question is, why do you think computer games are so popular? Why do you think computer games are so popular? We can have also many answers for this question. It is very popular because it is so interesting. We can spend our free time playing video games. And maybe because of the technology they use in designing these video games, they are very attractive. Okay, the visual effects they use, which attract and which makes the games more realistic, as we can see most of the video games that we have these days. Now, what will computer games be like in the future? What do you think? The computer games be like in the future? Okay, we have many answers, or we have some answers for this question. The games will look more realistic. Okay, as we can see, they are becoming more and more realistic. You feel that you are living the game. Computer controlled characters will be more naturalistic. So it will be easy to control the character that you use in your game, and that make it more naturalistic. The games will be more convoluted, which means the games are becoming very hard and complicated. And the graphic of computers will improve. They will improve the graphic of the computers which make them more attractive. Okay, so that are some of the guessing for how the computer games will be in the future. We may have more answers. Okay, now we are going to start the new vocabulary that we have for this lesson, which existed in page 35 in the box words to remember. The first word we have, let's listen.
Anti-reflective.
Anti-reflective. Again.
Anti-reflective.
Anti-reflective means designed to prevent reflections. Okay, designed to prevent reflections. Anti-reflective. So this is an easy word, as we can see. Now, in Arabic it means مضاد للانعكاس. Sorry for the mistake.
Competitive.
Competitive, relating to or characterized by competition. والذي يعني تنافسي. Next one.
Console.
Console. Let's listen again.
Console.
Console. A panel or unit accommodating a set of controls for electronic or mechanical equipment. والذي تعني وحدة التحكم أو أزرار التحكم، لوحة التحكم. Console. A panel or unit accommodating a set of controls for electronic or mechanical equipment. Next.
Convoluted.
Convoluted or convoluted, yes.
Convoluted.
The math problem was very convoluted والتي تعني صعب أو معقد. Next word.
Discourse.
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 Discourse, which means written or spoken communication or debate. Written or spoken communication or debate, which means in Arabic معناها الخطاب أو الحوار. Next one. We have the word employ.
Employ. Employ.
Employ means give work to someone and pay them for it. معناها باللغة العربية يوظف أو يشغل. Next word.
Naturalistic.
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 Naturalistic. Mona Lisa is an example of naturalistic art, derived from or closely imitating real life or nature. والتي تعني باللغة العربية naturalistic معناها طبيعي. Okay, أقرب إلى الطبيعة. Naturalistic. Next one. So as we said, naturalistic means طبيعي.
Perception.
Next word, which is perception. Again,
Perception.
perception. The ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through the senses. والتي تعني التصور أو الإدراك أو الفهم، والتي تتعلق بالعادة باستخدام الحواس. Perception. Next word.
Rival. Rival.
Rival. A person or thing competing with another for the same objective or for superiority in the same field of activity. Rival معناها منافس أو المنازل. Next word.
Sensor.
Sensor. A device which detects or measures a physical property and records, indicates, or otherwise responds to it. So this is
Sensor.
sensor، والتي تعني باللغة العربية الحساس أو المجسات. Next one.
Simulate.
Simulate. Simulate means imitate the appearance or character of. Simulate, imitate the appearance or character of، والتي تعني باللغة العربية يقلد. يقلد simulate. Next one.
Speech recognition.
Speech recognition. Again.
Speech recognition.
Speech recognition. A capability that enables a program to process human speech into a written format. التي تعني خاصية التعرف على الصوت. Speech recognition، وبالعادة تتعرف على الصوت ثم تحوله إلى كتابة. Next.
Visual effects.
Visual effects.
Visual effects.
Visual effects is a term used to describe imagery created, manipulated, or enhanced for any film or other moving media that doesn't take place during live action shooting. Okay? والتي تعني التأثيرات البصرية. التأثيرات البصرية بالعادة التي يتم إضافتها إلى الأفلام والتصوير. Visual effects. Next word we have
Wizard.
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 Wizard, a person who is very skilled in a particular field or activity. Steve Jobs is the Apple and iPod wizard، والتي تعني المتقن أو المتميز، ومعنى آخر لها الساحر أو المتميز أو المحترف. So we may have more than one meaning for the same vocabulary or for the same word. Now, you are going to read an article about future computer games. Before you read, match words A to F with their meanings 1 to 6. You may use the dictionary or the glossary at the end of the book. So we have here 6 words and 6 definitions. We need to match them together correctly. So the first, I'm going to read the words or the vocabulary that we have. Predict in Apple, complex, animator, creature, and increase. The definitions that we have: first one, number 1, artist who creates computer images. Growth or expansion, living thing or animal. To make something possible. Number 5, to say what you think will happen in the future. And the last one is too difficult or complicated. So we need to match the vocabulary with their definitions. The first one, predict, means number 5, to say what you think will happen in the future. Next one, enable, with number 4, to make something possible. Next one, complex, with number 6, means too difficult or complicated. D, animator, with number 1, artist who create computer images. Next one, creature, means living thing or animal. Last one, increase, with number 2, growth and expansion. Next one. Now here we have the article that we need to read, which talks about fast forward to the future of games. I'm going to read for you this paragraph. Technology experts are predicting that the computer games of the future will be a lot more demanding, both for games producers and for players. In particular, they say games will look much more realistic and computer-controlled characters will be more naturalistic. This means that computer games players will undoubtedly spend more time playing games than they do at the moment. Advancements in technology will enable companies to create more convoluted games. The graphics of computer games will definitely improve, but this may cause problems. Firstly, game studios will have to employ hundreds of animators to simulate enough creatures to fill huge computer worlds. Secondly, designers may spend too much time on visual effects and forget about the quality of the games themselves. One computer wizard said, "When you move away from combat-based games, character discourses will become much more important. We will have to develop artificial intelligence, or AI, to make our game characters more intelligent. In the end, they will be able to perform tasks such as visual perception, speech recognition, and discussion making." Another change that seems probable is the increase in people gaming using mobile phone networks. Many of these games are free at the moment, so companies don't earn much money from them. Some people are predicting that in the future, as multiplayer games become more and more popular, players will have to pay for every episode. These constant changes make games technology a rapidly developing business. Rival companies are just as competitive as their consumers. This competitive atmosphere will always produce exciting new ways to play, and ensures future consoles won't fall behind the times. Sony's latest handheld console, the PSP, has recently been updated with an anti-reflective screen, as well as a built-in microphone for headset-free use. And game designers will be working hard to compete with the success of the Nintendo Wii, which has been flying off the shelves since its release. This is largely due to the Wii's simple design and wand, a wireless controller that uses motion sensors to imitate the movement of the player. So this is the text that we have about fast forward to future of games. Now here, these underlined words are the answers for the previous questions about what you think the computer games will be like in the future. Now, we have exercise here. Read the article again and answer these questions. What will computer games will be like in the future? As we mentioned and said before, the underlined word that we have seen before. Computer games will be more difficult, realistic, and naturalistic in the future. The second question, why do game characters have to become more intelligent? So because character discourse is becoming more important than combat-based games. And the last one, why will game designers be working hard in the future? So they will be competing with the success of the Nintendo Wii. So these are the answers for the questions relating to the text. Now find the hyphenated words that mean the following. Okay, hyphenated words معناها الكلمات اللي يكون بينها الهايفن الصغيرة يعني الخط الصغير عطينا. So a computer game designed for or involving several players means what? Multiplayer. So as we can see, these are hyphenated words because يعني هاي الكلمات اللي تكون بينها الخط أو الشحطة الهايفن هاي تسمى hyphenated words. Next one, designed to be held in the hand. This is the definition of handheld. Okay, the last one, minimizing the reflection of light means what? Anti-reflective. Now, what effects can playing computer games have on young people? We can have good effects and we can have bad effects. The good effects for playing computer games on young people are developing their imagination and practicing speed thinking. So these are the good effects for playing computer games, and the bad effects are making them lazy and idle, making them unfit and out of shape. So these are the bad effects for playing computer games. Now the last thing that we have, what effects can playing computer games have on young people? From your own ideas, discuss good and bad effects you know about playing computer games. So that's it for this recording lesson. I hope that you enjoyed, and thank you all, and I wish you all the best in your studying. Thank you and goodbye.